everybody, and welcome back. I hope you're all having a good day. I know some of you on certain parts of the planet are celebrating today, and some of you in those same parts of the planet, you're not celebrating anything, and then many of you in different parts of the planet don't even understand what the hell's going on, and that's where I'm at. So I'm celebrating being here with you, and if you've got nowhere better to be, I assume that's probably the case if you're here with me, well then, let's celebrate ourselves, shall we? And since the topic of gratitude is coming up quite a bit, I might express my own. Or I might not. Who knows? But one thing I'm definitely going to do is show some gratitude for these damn thumb socks. So, may the cosmic turkey gobble up my thumbs with the comfort of some wonderful touch capacitive thumb socks that are very unnecessary for the controller that I'm using today, but they make me feel good. So leave me alone. Raid. Oops.
Maybe.
What did you just say?
Maybe.
Oh. I just dropped my controller thanks to you.
No.
Okay, I dropped it thanks to me.
Yes.
Are you having a good day, Raid?
Yes.
Did you eat lots of food today?
No.
Of course not. Because you are simply a piece of software.
All right.
Well, speaking of software, I am excited. Yes, finger condoms are a go. We have achieved protection, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready for anything. Okay, speaking of anything. Speaking of software, and speaking of anything, you could pretty much say that about any topic. Yesterday, Raid canceled WARZONE Wednesday. So then today was going to be WARZONE Wednesday. But then I canceled WARZONE Wednesday because, look, I want to show you something, and it feels more relevant for me to show it to you now, considering we had just gone over so much of this yesterday. So now feels like the most appropriate time to do this. Plus, I'm still intrigued by this controller. I'm still in the honeymoon phase, and like I said before, this is my true love, and that's not changing. I have 2 more of these unopened that are my most prized possessions. They are my insurance policy, assuring me that I will be able to continue to play games the way I want to play into the future, assuming support still remains. That said, the honeymoon phase is still engaged. And I am very curious about all the different things to be explored with this controller. So if you want to see what I've done, I would love to show you. If you were here yesterday, you know that we played RoboQuest. There was a new update, but it was really less about the game. It was more about the controller, and specifically building an FPS config, and this game is like a nice platform to experiment with your configs and things if you were playing a lot of first-person shooters. And so that's what we're doing again today. But today's different. Just have to fix this darn cord. My headphones are going in and out of polarity, and the dodecahedrons are spinning around in between my brain. It's very unsettling, and it's a little exciting. And we don't want to get too excited now. You remember what happened last time? Well, I wanted to experiment because last night after we ended the show, I had some thoughts about what we had done and what we had set up, and I thought we could do things differently. One of the things that I sort of complained about was that I just wasn't used to having to engage my right thumb so much, and specifically pushing that right thumbstick. I'm not used to doing that, and it wasn't very comfortable. So then just for fun, I thought I might experiment with what seemed like a throwaway idea, but sort of the kind of experimentation that I do a lot. And that is just getting strange, just being very unconventional. And I was not thinking that it would be something that I would maintain or that I would use long term. And maybe it won't be something I use long term. But I'm so excited about it that I wanted to show it to you guys, because maybe some of you might actually find some value in it, like I have. Because honestly, I think this is going to be the way going forward for me and this controller specifically. I don't think that I would do what I'm going to show you with a Steam controller, because frankly, I don't need to. But it was the limitations that this controller presented to me that caused me to experiment and ultimately discover a really neat way of playing an FPS. Kind of different. And again, I've only been experimenting with this more or less today, so I don't really know if it's going to be a long-term idea, but it's interesting. And enough talking about it. Let's jump into it in a moment after I make an adjustment to the temperature. Okay? All right, hold on. Oh, hey. Hail Satan. Hello. Welcome. And you're probably not watching this because you're in the live chat right now saying that you're not watching, but that's okay. So that makes it even more interesting, the fact that I'm addressing you specifically and directly. Everyone, please mute your videos right now. I have a message. For XX666, Hail Satan 666XX. All right. All right. Are we alone now? Yeah? Okay. Hey, man, how's it going? Hope you're good. All right, that's it. You guys can unmute your TVs now. Okay, I'll be right back. Don't go away. And hello, we are back. Finger condoms right here. Yeah, it's a prerequisite for a good time. Better safe than soggy is what I always say. Keeps your fingers nice and dry, baby. You want them to be real dry. Tastes like November. Okay, let's do it. Let me show you. We bring down the music. Okay, let's just jump in to the game, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to show you once we get in there. All right, let's get some weapons. We're going to go. We'll start precision. All right, here's what's going on. Let me explain because it's really different, and it's a little weird too for me. So I'm gonna have to unlearn everything that we learned yesterday. Everything that we set up in that config, we're gonna have to. We've kind of unset up. Not everything, but many things. I'll show you. Let me show you. Let me show you right now. Let's get over there. We'll jump into to the config. This is gonna look so strange. I'm telling you. Look at our joystick. Look what's going on with our joystick. So normally this was our look, right? We had this set up on joystick mouse, horizontal only, boosted the sensitivity, and everything else was more or less defaulted. Yeah. But look we're changing that. We're putting this on a D-pad. Up is E, left is change weapon, right is reload, and N is the map or navigation or whatever they call it. And then click is upgrade, upgrade whatever. And over here, look at this. This is how we're looking around. Well, one of two ways. X is jump. And square and circle are snap left and right on a double press. Because on a single press, both of these kill the gyro. And triangle, single press, does a 180 snap. And I know you're thinking, like, this is kind of crazy to designate snaps to your face buttons, especially when you're already so limited on buttons. We don't have a lot of buttons to work with. We don't have grip buttons. We can't really create as many functional action layers as we would if we had grip buttons. So it seems like a weird choice. And again, when I did this, I was just thinking, I just want to see what this feels like. And I was definitely going to change it. But I didn't, and I love it. I love it so much because look at this. We went into the gyro now, and we really cranked up the gyro speed. So now our base gyro speed is very high, but we've got dampening, a good bit of dampening going on when we're pressing either the left or the right trigger. And that dampening takes us more or less to where the gyro speed and sensitivity was before. And that's what we want because that's where it feels comfortable to shoot. But now that I have the gyro speed increased on the base layer, I can look around very quickly, and very comfortably and effectively. And then I got my snaps. And what's really important is having those snaps available on a double press rather than a single press, because the single press I'm now using like so much to kill the gyro. So I'm killing that gyro non-stop, adjusting my hands. And really, I don't even have to kill it as much as I did before because the gyro speed sensitivity is so high. I'm surprised by how effective and functional this config is. And let me show you some more. Let's just jump into it now and see how it goes. So I can use either square or circle to kill the gyro and reorient my hands. And basically, I can do a 360 very effectively with the gyro. And that's normally that would just be way too high, way too sensitive. But because I have these buttons right here to just stop the gyro and allow me to reorient my hands, it becomes really, really nice. And then the double tap to snap is just really great. The double tap to snap mixed with a high sensitivity gyro makes me feel like it seriously makes me feel substantially more powerful with this config now than I felt even in yesterday's config. Yeah, so let's jump into it and see how it goes. happy with this. It feels really good. And the gyro being higher sensitivity does take some getting used to, for sure. But the power that it gives me, like the feeling of additional ability that it feels like it gives me, is just phenomenal. And having that triangle button on a single press to just spin me around like that, plus the high sensitivity gyro, just makes me feel like it completely negates any of the issues that I perceived with, you know, a slow joystick, for example. And because I don't have to now click in the joystick to get to my snap, which is what I was having to do yesterday, it feels so much more reliable. And it's really not a problem having the right joystick as a D-pad or a button pad, you know, for like context action and reload. Because I have that high sensitivity always on gyro, I'm never sacrificing my ability to look or to aim by moving my finger off of the face buttons onto the joystick or vice versa. It definitely takes some getting used to, like firing without ADS with that high sensitivity. But I feel like what I lose is made up for by the fact that I can spin around and I can look around so much easier. And I don't doubt that my aim is going to improve the more time I spend with this high sensitivity. Oh my god, that thing grabs you. This is like a new area with new enemies. Part of the new update. That guy's new too. Smoke. Yeah, those fireballs are new as well. And look at this door. It's locked, and there's a code, and I don't know the code. Maybe we find the code later. They made it so your alt fire in this game now, it recharges, which is really cool. I'm very happy about that. Damn it, you got me. Jeez, that guy is just destroying me. Oh, man. Okay. So that's what we're working with, and it's really, really fun. Some adjustments I need to make, though, are I need to tone down the vertical scale sensitivity. I'm just going to go 2 ticks down, and then I'm going to pull down the sensitivity by 2 ticks here as well. I'm going to keep the dampening where it's at, because I think I'm happy with the dampening. Even though it'll be different now because I adjust the main sensitivity, but it should be all right. I love it. Look at that, just being able to spin around like that. I'm not used to it, so when I need to do a 360, I'm still pausing in my mind, and I'm like, okay, or not a 360, a 180. I'm thinking, how do I do it? What do I do? What should I do? Because I can hit triangle to turn around, or I can just move my hands, you know? And either one is a viable solution. It's just a matter of building up that, I guess, muscle memory, that situational decision making. And then the left and right snaps are really handy. I don't know what the alt fire is for. I guess it just does a big bouncy ball of damage. Hey, for all right. Huh. Yeah. craziness. Hold on. Okay, you know, just when you feel it, you just gotta do it. got me. Last life. Oh, geez. It felt like we went through something together just now. You know, I never really try these demolition types, but I should. I'm curious. All right, let's do it. Yeah, right, Nemo? Heck of a battle. Not looking good. It's not looking good. No, 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 no. Oh, we did it. We did it. I mean, of course we did. Of course. Hey, we got C for cool. I'll take it. Off to the Aqua Station. This is a new level, too. I think I like that more than this. So. I don't know what if these are here for a reason or just if this is foreshadowing something. Let me demonstrate something. When I'm jumping off of these, I'm just hitting triangle to turn around and face the other direction. I'm not turning my hands. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm not even doing any left or right snaps. This is all jump, hit it, triangle, jump, triangle. This whole 180 triangle thing is really nice because it's so easy to hit. It's even easier than how I had it set up yesterday, where I had the the snaps on a separate layer that I was accessing by clicking the right joystick. And so I would click joystick, and then I would go down or up to do a 180, and then I would go left or right to do it's like a 90, not exactly, but yeah, to do left or right snap. But now just hitting square and circle to go left and right on a double tap is so nice, and especially that triangle snap turning around. It's really good. I like it so much. Oh, this is different than the one we had a second ago. Nice. I like this. Damn you! I love the sound this gun makes. What do these guys do? Oh, they just pop up and explode. Not the best selection, but I'm having too much fun to care too bad. Besides, I like this gun. If you really pay attention to your stats and what you're building for, your choices can have a pretty substantial impact on your ability in this game. So if you specifically build like a precision loadout and pick your perks to favor that, then you can get a lot of additional damage going. Whoa, shoot. I have to say, I never thought for a second that the solution to my biggest gripe with gamepads being the right joystick was just a nightmare for me to aim with. I never thought the solution would be to just avoid the right joystick altogether. Who would have thought? Then again, you know, the snaps, the mouse delta option is not a common option, and it hasn't even been a thing until Steam put it in. Valve put it in. I'm so glad that they did, because I wouldn't be doing this right now if it wasn't for those snaps. Because it's not just enough for it to be a high sensitivity gyro, and it's not just enough to be able to kill that gyro easily and reliably with multiple buttons, but having those snaps really makes all the difference in the world. I'm happy with what I have. Let me make one adjustment, though. I am going to adjust that that dampening. I'm going to lower it by 2 ticks. Oops. And I'm doing that because I adjusted the base sensitivity for the gyro. I lowered it, but now my dampening is a little too slow. surrounded. Damn it. Stupid freaking stuns, man. The worst part of this game. What is this? Laser saw? Barrel cannon? Laser saw. What is a laser saw? I want to know more. Oh. Oh, like for hunting head crabs. All right, I'm down. I think the sniper rifle's a good idea. All right. Here we go. I love that shotgun, but as you can see on my stats, it doesn't seem like it would be the wise choice. Look at this guy. Dr. Turret. Holy Moses. This music is fucking amazing. Close. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, yes. Oh, boy. Humans. Pitiful worms. I resent that. To be continued. Well, we made it to the end, I guess, through that path. And so in this game, you can take different paths, apparently, and get to different end games, or probably the wrong term to use, different end bosses. So, yeah, there's still other bosses. All right, let's talk about this config. Because I know that's what you were hoping that I would do, is talk some more about my buttons and my controls. Right? So let's do it. I like it. I like it a lot. Now the biggest thing that I'm having, there's two things right now. I wouldn't say I'm struggling with, but I would say is requiring much more conscious thought than I would prefer. And that is remembering where the button, like what I mapped to what. So because I'm not using the face buttons for traditional face button things, not that that would help me at all, because I don't know what the traditional face button things are. I assume the A or the X button would be jump, just because that makes the most sense. But I keep forgetting where I put things like reload. I was having that problem yesterday because it's all so different. Things like the context button, I keep forgetting where I put that. But I am finding that I like using the joystick as my secondary, as my using the joystick as my face buttons and using the buttons as my joystick. I like this more. So when I'm on the joystick and I want to go up and hit Y to say, like, as a context action, I don't like that as much as being able to push the joystick up for context action. That's really, really nice. And it feels a lot easier and a lot nicer to me than keeping my thumb on the joystick and then moving it up here. I don't know why it feels different to move it down. Maybe because I can sort of flick it. I can flick it and then move back up to where my thumb needs to be. Same thing with like down. I can just sort of flick that stick in that direction to just snap that thing, as opposed to going up and then pressing the button. You know, I really don't understand why I like this more. I'm trying to figure it out, but I don't know. But yeah, I'm surprised at how much I like using the joystick as a button pad, you know, a button flick thing. And I'm surprised at how much I like the snapping with these face buttons. It is really nice to snap with the face buttons. Maybe one of the reasons that I like that is because it's maybe more similar to using the touchpad on the Steam controller to snap, because the way I would snap on the Steam controller is I just click, you know, left or right, off center. It doesn't have to be on the far edge either. It could just be off center. And so this is kind of more similar to that than the stick is. I think that might be what it is. And the other thing, beyond, you know, remembering where I put things like reload and context action, that's just gonna come over time. But the other thing is getting used to aiming and shooting with a higher sensitivity on the gyro. Because it is different. It's much higher. It's much higher sensitivity than I'm used to. And on weapons where I'm able to ADS or sort of charge my shot like you would with like a charge rifle or even like a bow and arrow, you know, like the longbow, you're essentially charging it. And because when I'm charging it, I'm depressing the trigger all the way, that dampens my gyro to the sensitivity that I'm used to for shooting. You know, I don't need to be able to do 360s to be able to accurately shoot a target or aim at a target. I need to be able to do 360s to be able to navigate around comfortably. And it's not that I need to, but that's where the benefit of that high sensitivity gyro comes in. It doesn't benefit my aiming. My aiming does not benefit from having this high a sensitivity of gyro, but everything else benefits from it. So it's a good trade-off. And my aiming hasn't taken that much of a hit. So I feel like I can make up for that just by training, just playing more and getting used to it. I feel like I can make up for that. So weapons with charging or with ADS feel right at home, as normal as ever, but it's the weapons like maybe this gun or maybe the carbine where you're not aiming, you're just having to, you know, point and shoot. That's where that difficulty's coming in right now. But I would say that I'm only saying that in comparison to what I knew before. If I had just started as a lifelong mouse and keyboard guy who, you know, never really had much good to say about a gamepad, this would have changed my experience completely. I am now of a different opinion about gamepads, and I'm actually kind of excited to say that, because having that sort of typical salty gamepads, and you know, you've heard it all before. It gets old after a while, you know, and even in myself, it's like, the gamepad's not going anywhere, and it works for a lot of people. So me to sort of feel like it's not great or it's not usable, it says more about me than it says about the gamepad. And now that I'm actually kind of more open-minded about a traditional gamepad and giving it a go, I gotta say, I'm very happy that I picked up this controller. And my opinion is very different now. And I don't think that I'm going to deviate too terribly far from this method. And the method being using the face buttons to look around with those snaps. It's those snaps, man. It makes all the difference in the world, because when you're shooting at a target right here, see that refrigerator? All right, now look. If I'm shooting at a target right here, I can keep my hand exactly where it is. You know, I can keep my hands right here at an optimal position to make any sort of adjustments, you know. and then I can just snap to that. Boom. You see that? It's unbelievable. Like, it's so nice, and it really makes me think, like, what's the point? Like, I was so hung up on the joystick being so lame and so slow, but it's like, it doesn't, then don't use it that way, dummy. And now that I'm not using it that way, I really can't criticize it. So, you know, I guess that's the lesson of the day. If there is a lesson of the day, it is that sometimes we're just fucking wrong, and you just gotta experiment. So for me, my distaste in gamepads was more of a reflection of my lack of experimentation, my lack of true effort to find a way to make it compatible with my play style. And now that I have, you know, I spend a lot of money on the controller. It's a very expensive controller, and I wanted to really put it through its paces because I didn't want to just feel like I wasted money. So having that sort of motivation and that incentive to find the gold here has resulted in me, well, I mean, I guess finding the gold, and that gold is, you know, more specifically a control scheme that I wasn't expecting to find, and I wasn't expecting to like so much. So, wow, I'm very happy with it. And even yesterday was good. Like, there was a lot of good data that I felt like I got out of building the FPS config that we went through yesterday. And while I still think that's good, this isn't necessarily like to replace that. This is kind of an alternate config. I still might use that other one. I still might try that in other games. And I think maybe a lot of people who are more used to a traditional gamepad approach would find that config to be a little bit more comfortable, because this one is very weird. But I'm so used to the snaps, you know, and to the gyro and all these things that this is more centric to a gyro-based system. And I think that's kind of going to be the main thing. If you are more of a gyro person than you are a joystick person, then you might really like this config too. But if you're more of a joystick person than a gyro person, the other config would probably be better for you, while that one does have full gyro support. It's probably a better transitionary config, I might think. Perhaps, maybe, possibly, I don't know. Try it out and let me know. I'm gonna post this one in the Discord, in the TRICOM, the Steam controller config channel. I guess we should name that something else, because it's not really just Steam controller configs anymore, right?
No.
Oh, well, thanks for the input.
Yes.
So yeah, maybe I'll have. Hey, Raid, would you mind changing the name of that channel?
No.
No, you wouldn't mind?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Yes.
And you guys can try it. And of course, let me know what you think. Make your own tweaks and changes and experiment with it. And really, like, what I would recommend even more is, it sounds weird to say watch this video again. The best thing that you could do probably is to really watch this video and build your own config along with this nonsense that I'm talking about. Because I don't want you to use my config as much as I want you to make your own using some of these ideas, and let me know what your hands come up with. Because your hands are going to be different. You're going to have different muscle memory. You're going to have different preferences. But I want you to be aware of what all these different features are so that you could implement them in ways that would be more relevant to your experience. And then by all means, come and share with us what you've done and how you've done it. And if you could make a video, I would love to see more Steam controller videos, or Steam controller configurator videos even for controllers like this. I have another controller, and it's not as popular as this, but it's a fairly common controller, and it also has a gyro. And I'm going to be experimenting with that as well. Now that I have kind of opened my mind, and the results of which have been, very satisfying, I'm going to experiment with that controller now too, and I'm a little bit more excited for that than I would have otherwise been. So hopefully we'll learn something from that experience, but that won't be, you know, maybe next week or the week after or something like that. And again, I want to reiterate, this is my true love, my first love, and the playing with this is more of an experimental thing. I'm just very obsessed with seeing what is possible. But if I'm just going to sit down and play games, I am absolutely grabbing my Steam controller. So you Steam controller fans that might look at this and kind of, you know, crinkle your nose, I understand 100%. And I'm still here with my Steam controller, and we're going to have many, many, many Steam controller adventures. And by adventures, I mean there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of hours devoted to building interesting Steam controller configs and just playing games with a Steam controller. I promise you that. We are not abandoning that. That is my heart and soul. If I talk about it too much, I will become emotional, and it will just seem very silly. So that's really, I think, all I have to say about this experience. Man, I'm very impressed. I'm very happy. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, it is that time again. I hope you all have had a wonderful day. I hope you've eaten lots, because that's certainly the thing to do a day like today. And I hope maybe you learned something, and if nothing else, I hope you enjoyed your time hanging out. I certainly appreciate you stopping by. Oh, let's see. I'm missing things. No, nothing on Spotify. No, the music is so. Here's the thing with the music is, I make new music, a new synth jam, every weekend, and that serves as the background music for the show, as well as a bit of a jam track for me to just play to and improvise. And then at the end of the week, those synth jams would be set off into space to never be heard from again, just exist for those of us who were there to witness them. And I decided that maybe that's not necessarily the best approach to take, so started saving them and compiling them, and then rendering them off to make them available to content creators and other creative producer types within the TRICOM, so that you guys can have, you know, free to use, royalty-free, DMCA-free, all that copyright nonsense is not relevant whatsoever here, and you could just use the music for your videos. And eventually you're going to be able to use the stems and make remixes and just use whatever you want for whatever you want. And that's kind of what's up with the music. But there's nothing on Spotify. It's not really, I'm not making songs necessarily, you know? So if anyone's interested in the process of making this music and audio production in general, there's going to be a lot of content that's sort of geared towards that coming in the future. And you know, I'm not like making announcements and, you know, building hype for things, but just letting you know that that is something that I'm working on. Every day I'm working towards this idea of making things more available in different ways for you guys, and to hopefully figure out a way to create a Patreon and make actual valuable content for people to use. And you know what? I don't like the idea of people just, you know, throwing money at me. So I want to be able to have something to offer and say, hey, if you're a content creator and you want an ever-increasing library of not just music, but musical stems that you can break apart and use in whatever way you want, then I feel more comfortable having something like that to offer in return for some sort of subscription thing. So currently it's an idea of putting together those types of things so that I can look at what I have and feel comfortable asking people to support financially. So if that's something you might be interested in, I hope that it can be beneficial, and maybe even more beneficial than some of the other options that are out there. And especially for other producers who are interested in making music, making synth music or any kind of music. So one of the things that we'll be offering is behind the scenes content. Hopefully it'll be, you know, of decent production value and educational as well. So you could learn how to make music on your own, and I can help give you assets to help that journey and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'd like to be able to take all the things that I do here and find a way to make them relevant to you guys, without, of course, bombarding the main YouTube channel with a whole bunch of random things, you know. But that's what's up with the music, and I'm so glad that you guys like it and enjoy it, and it's one of my favorite parts of all this. And one of the big things was like I always wanted to just make more music. And this is a really great thing for me because it gives me an opportunity to create a workflow that requires constant iteration. And so it's very fulfilling for me musically because I have a history of working on music projects that end up taking an investment of many, many, many years before anything ever sees the light of day. And sometimes you can end up just sort of despising some of your music by the time it actually gets out there. So with this workflow, it's nice because I enjoy it and it's got a quick turnaround to it. And it's maybe not the most complex stuff I've ever made or the most, challenging music, but I'm really having a good time with it. So when I hear you guys enjoying it, it really helps motivate me and it helps encourage the whole process. So I appreciate all the feedback, you guys. And if you'd like to become a member of the TRICOM, there's no pressure. I'm not necessarily trying to advertise it or anything like that, but I've been so, I don't even know the word for it, just blown away, overwhelmed by the amount of amazing people that have come into my life through this little community. And I can't wait to see who is going to join next and see where things go and get to know more of you guys and get to see all this stuff. I mean, I just, the whole thing I'm excited about. So if it's something that you're into or you are curious, there's a link in the description, and membership is open until the end of the year. And so you can join the TRICOM. There's a bit of an onboarding process. It's not like a regular Discord, but you can see everything when you join. You find all the channels and stuff and read the info. And and maybe it's not even a thing for you. Maybe you go there and it's not. It's too wholesome or too. I don't know. I don't know. It's so different than what I've experienced on Discord that it makes me think that like we've passed through the fucking Twilight Zone and the most amazing people and just wonderful vibes exist in this Discord, and it's so damn pure and beautiful and hilarious and nice, and I just love it. I just love you guys, and I'm so proud of this little community that we have. And if you're looking for, if any of that doesn't sound just fucking ridiculous to you, then you're probably our kind of people. So by all means, come give it a look and see what you think. And if you'd like, we'd love to have you. And post your introduction. You'll be onboarded the following Monday. And I think this Monday's induction is going to be pretty large. So I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited to meet all you new people. So I guess that's all I have. That's it for now. Thank you all for hanging out. Those of you in the TRICOM and those of you on YouTube who are watching, thank you so much for stopping by. And wherever you've come from, whether it was, it looks like someone came from the subreddit, That's awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you're not into Discord, I totally understand. I really do, 100%. And by all means, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel and I don't really pay attention to the chat on there, but by all means, jump in there and do your thing. I'd love to have you. So that's all for now. Everybody, have a great night. And I will see you all tomorrow. Raid?
Yes.
Do you have anything to say to the lovely folks and the new people that may be watching right now? Something nice and friendly, warm, welcoming, encouraging, supportive, all those good, good vibes?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So.
Okay.
Okay. All right, everybody. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.